Well, good evening, everybody. And as Oriana said, I'm the moderator. I was asked to be moderator. I guess I've done this a couple times in the past for the chamber events, a lot of the aldermanic races and their state legislative races. And so I was glad to participate. I find it interesting, and I think the questions that we have tonight and the answers will also be interesting for all of you. As was mentioned, there were 3 races on the docket for tonight. One was municipal court judge, the second circuit court judge, and the third Supreme Court justice. And as was announced for the first race, municipal court judge, Mr. Sonnenberg indicated today that he was not able to attend. And because the other candidate in that race is municipal court judge Delahunt, and the next race after the municipal court would be circuit court judge, of which she is also in that race against the incumbent, Honorable Angela Sienkiewicz. It made sense not to do 2 of them individually, but to essentially just have the circuit court race. Anybody who has questions of the municipal court would ask that, can bring that question forward, and I'll ask it at the same time that we're questioning the circuit court justice or judge. So hopefully that made all sense to you. We're trying to make this proceed in a proper manner. So with that, we're going to proceed right to the circuit court race. And we have tonight, presenting tonight would be the municipal court judge, Catherine Delahunt. And Honorable Angela Sienkiewicz was not able to be here due to a prior commitment, but she has a representative who will also be here to make her opening comments. The questions are only intended for the candidates, and therefore the representative for Judge Sienkiewicz will be leaving after the opening statement, and will proceed with this questions to Judge Delahunt. So with that, I believe we're ready to begin. Let me just again maybe announce the ground rules. We are again taking questions from all of you, and if you have questions, there's paper and pens, and the Liberty Coalition staff will take your questions, and will provide paper and pens if you don't have any. And then they'll bring it up to me, and I'll attempt to answer or ask as many questions as possible. We have allocated around 20 minutes for the circuit court position. Because we don't have the municipal court judge position, we might go a little bit longer. The Supreme Court justice race was going to begin about 7:30. So we got a little bit of time, so I can maybe go a little bit longer with questions. We'll ask as many questions as possible. My purpose in asking the questions is I look to ask questions that are not inflammatory, if that's the right word. They're not aimed at, why did you do this 30 years ago? The questions are supposed to be questions that both of them can answer. Obviously, we only have one candidate for the circuit court here, so I still will try to stick to that same principle of asking questions that are aimed at your philosophies, what you're going to do as a judge, things like that. Okay? So with that, the other thing I'd like to mention is that please refrain from audience comments. I've always said that to every group I've moderated. I think it's better, and I think it shows respect to the candidates and representatives if you just listen to what they have to say, and that we don't have yays and nays and clapping and booing and whatever other comments you want to make. So each of the questions have been allotted 2 minutes to answer, and we're going to stick to that. I believe there's going to be a timekeeper who's going to keep track of that as well. And even though we only have the one candidate answering the questions in each of the 2 races. I believe with that I've covered the questions and the format. So with that, we'll begin, and if I could ask the candidate representative to come forward for the circuit court judge race, and that would be the representative for the Honorable Angela Sienkiewicz is Attorney Natasha Tory Morgan, and then also we have Municipal Court Judge Catherine Delahunt. Right, both of you would both take a chair there. And the order, what we're going to do is we, I had been determined in advance, I should say, that the municipal court judge would go first, and then Attorney Tory Morgan would go second. So with that, I think we're ready to begin. And again, each of the candidates and representative have 5 minutes for their opening statements.
Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to thank the Sheboygan Liberty Coalition for hosting this event. I am proud and honored to offer the citizens of Sheboygan County a choice for an election in this election for the Circuit Court Judge on April 5th. And I humbly offer 4 reasons why I feel that I am the best candidate. First and foremost is experience. Just as any employer would review a job candidate's experience and track record, so should the citizens of Sheboygan County select a candidate with the strongest and most relevant experience. Circuit Court judges handle a variety of cases, traffic and ordinance cases, civil cases, and criminal cases. I've handled more than 39,000 traffic and ordinance cases as the municipal judge for the Sheboygan and Colder Court over the past 5 years. As a private practice attorney for 2 Milwaukee law firms, I've successfully handled civil cases such as contract disputes, medical malpractice cases, tax issues, employment law, personal injury, and real estate cases. Regarding criminal law, I've handled mediation and arbitration of court-referred cases, and I've prosecuted cases as an assistant state's attorney in Cook County, Illinois, where I was in that office for 5 years. Thus, my combined experience as a judge for 5 years and a private practice attorney handling a variety of cases is significantly broader than my opponents. I have a deep respect and love of the law that I believe experience and knowledge are key to being a good jurist. Citizens deserve judges who have experienced the complexities of many areas of law. Second, I am the only nonpartisan candidate, having never been a member of any political party. Supreme Court rules require judges to be nonpartisan to ensure fair and impartial judiciary. I don't bring a political agenda to the bench, and I have been proven to be fair, unbiased, and independent. I strictly apply the law to the facts of each case and do not legislate from the bench. I understand that cases should be judged on the facts, not on a person's personal political beliefs. Thirdly, I believe firmly in personal responsibility. I learned personal responsibility from my wonderful parents, both of whom were suburban Milwaukee public school teachers. But the hardest lesson in personal responsibility came after my mother suffered a brain aneurysm when I was 15, and she eventually died. My father held 2 jobs, and I shouldered responsibility for my 4-year-old sister while helping with other tasks around the home. I later paid for all of my expenses for college and law school. I do insist that people in my courtroom take personal responsibility, and the people who come into my courtroom understand that I'm fair but firm. Finally, I am profoundly honored to have been endorsed by citizens from all walks of life throughout the county. Law enforcement, community leaders, business leaders, attorneys, judges, and hundreds of informed citizens who firmly believe in a strong, rich, experienced judiciary. In summary, I feel I'm the best candidate for the Sheboygan County Circuit Court because I have the most and best experience. I've been consistently nonpartisan and will never be an activist judge. My deep-rooted philosophy on personal responsibility has been well demonstrated during my 5 years on the Sheboygan-Kohler Municipal Court, and I have the experienced judicial temperament and the community support to make me a good judge. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we'll hear from Attorney Tori Morgan.